Psychologists have proven that childhood trauma doesn't just fade away. It actively shapes your adult personality. It dictates how you eat, how you work, and how you love. But look closer at who you are. You say, who I am. You say, I'm just an overthinker, or I'm just socially anxious, or I'm just highly productive. You wear these labels like armor, but they aren't traits. They are evidence of a nervous system that learned years ago that being yourself was a liability. Your brain is a survival machine, not an identity creator, and right now it is running a series of security protocols you didn't write, but you're forced to execute. You aren't making decisions. You're just repeating a script designed to keep you invisible, safe, or validated, whatever kept you from pain as a child. This is why you fail when you try to change. You try to fix your behavior, but your brain is still protecting your fears. This isn't just about feeling stuck. It's about biological momentum. Every time you lean into that defensive pattern, every time you avoid the conflict or shut down or self-sabotage, you are physically strengthening the neural highway for that response. This is called myelination. You are literally insulating these pathways with fatty tissue, making the signal travel faster, stronger, and more automatically every single time. You are building a prison out of your own biology. Your brain is a masterpiece of energy efficiency. It doesn't want to think. It wants to conserve power. It looks at your personality, your anxiety, your perfectionism, your numbness, and it sees a shortcut, a way to bypass the high energy cost of conscious, rational thought. The more you repeat these reactions, the deeper the grooves in your basal ganglia become. By the time you reach 30 or 40, you aren't even making choices. You are just a playback loop of a survival strategy that hasn't been updated since you were 10 years old. You are becoming a biological relic, and the longer you wait to interrupt this loop, the more energy it will take to break it. Take your intuition. You think that sinking feeling when you're about to take a risk is gut instinct. It's not. It's an amygdala hijack. Your amygdala is a binary switch, safe or threat. It doesn't care about your potential. It doesn't care about your goals. It only cares about historical patterns. If a situation shares 10% of the DNA of a past humiliation, your brain burns the bridge before you've even crossed it. Your heart rate spikes, your lungs tighten, your executive function, your prefrontal cortex, goes dark. You aren't choosing to be cautious. You are being forced into a defensive posture by a biological relic that thinks you're still fighting for survival in a world that stopped existing years ago. You are living in a house that's been on fire for a decade, and you've stopped noticing the smoke. So how do you actually override this? Not with self-reflection. Reflection is just the brain admiring its own cage. You need a circuit breaker. You don't need to process the feeling. You need to interrupt the hardware. The moment you feel that default reaction, the desire to withdraw, to people please, to overwork, to numb out, that is the exact millisecond you have the upper hand. Most people ignore that spike of tension. They let it wash over them, and then they justify the behavior afterward. Stop. When the surge hits, do not act, do not breathe into it, do not analyze it. Use the 5-second gap. You are going to force your prefrontal cortex back online by introducing a manual, non-emotional instruction. Pick a physical movement. Tap your desk. Change your posture. Recite a string of numbers. Anything to force your brain to switch from survival mode to task mode. You're trying to break the neural highway your brain has paved over the last 20 years. It will scream. It will tell you that the path you're choosing is wrong or dangerous. That is not your intuition speaking. That is your trauma warning you that you are about to lose your primary method of control. Let it scream every time you choose to sit in that discomfort without running back to your old personality. You are physically rewiring the connection between your threat detector and your rational mind. You have spent years mastering the art of being safe. You have never been trained to be effective. Stop asking who you are. Start observing what you're doing. Because if you don't, you will spend the rest of your life defending a personality that was built by fear for a version of you that should have stayed in the past. The survival script ends when you decide it does, but it only ends when you stop calling it you.